because we're getting the full amount of thrust out of that. Solar flare analysis, yeah, the payload damage is really coming back to bite us. This one we have... Hello everyone, The Ranks is here, and welcome back to Mars Horizon, where we've got a couple of missions in the works. We're going to do some space welding experimentation, we're going to send a Venus impactor probe, and other than that, really there's a couple other things on the docket. Japan is going to race and kind of beat everybody to do a crewed moon landing. Sort of a little bitter about that one. They're supposed to be our ally, and yet, you know, yeah, we're a little behind in some things, and by a little behind I mean very far behind, because we are putting our emphasis in crewed space missions. Life support test, very lucrative. Spacewalk maneuvering unit. Oh, so we can work on becoming allied with other nations. I don't think that's... Okay, so there's some benefit to this, but yeah, I don't think that's ultimately what we want to do in the long run. We are doing the space welding and the orbital radio. Yeah, I think we should just focus on the milestones for now. We did get to orbital EVA first, working as quickly as we can towards the commercial satellite. And I think when it comes down to it, we're going to have to work on the Mars flyby next, ultimately. We're going to have to. We could push another one of these. Let's see, the life support test. It would give us money. Do we want the money or do we want the science? I mean, space welding is going to give us a significant amount of science. Maybe we take an easy mission, so we're not spending the money that we don't have. Let's do that. Sometimes you got to go with the easy mission. Standard Explorer payload, I think, yeah, we'll keep the cost down. If we go to, we go to a GOES payload. That's definitely going to raise the cost. Or we just try to do it with the bare minimum payload. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right. Geophysical data acquired. Ah, we did not need the money after all. That's right, because we did take the satellite imagery as we had promised. Organizers of the International Geophysical Year are ecstatic at the data gathered by your recently launched satellite. Expect it will generate new scientific insights for years to come. And the Venus impactor rocket is complete. Model identifier, the teapot. Launch reliability penalty will be halved. As the vehicle's fuel efficiency has been improved by our engineers. Okay, so pretty much ready to launch at this point. For training, I think we should... What? Base launch reliability. Payload is low. Critical failure rate is below 10%. Payload failure rate is really high, though. A 60% chance of having a successful payload event. We could boost that to get it to 75. I think we boost the science. I think the science is where it's at. And of course, there's just not a lot of good windows for this, is there? Okay, are there? Is there? Are there? Are there? Is there? I think we go to June. June in the next year. We're talking about going to Mars or Venus. So yeah, very specific windows for launch. Okay. Confirmed, that's when we'll be launching that one. The space welding mission is ready to be built now. So we're going to begin the construction of the I Like Sugar rocket. Alright, and the Explorer payload is complete with a cheaper upper stage, but it's going to take a little bit more time to build. That's fine. The design for this one is the TGM rocket. And also we'll be doing this one at a pretty effective cost. Images from your observation satellite have proved invaluable to the early detection of a hurricane. Oh, ensuring evacuation. Mariner 8 research is completed. That's good. Japan was successful in their crewed moon landing. Try to be happy about them. They are our allies in the space race, so we can't be too bitter. The next stage of research, I believe, is going to go straight to commercial satellite. That funding reward is phenomenal and of significant value to us. So we need to push ahead on that one as quickly as possible. Yep, there is Japan settling down on the moon. Soviet Union was second with a commercial satellite. We need a reliable way of generating science now. Mission training bonuses are increased. Payload reliability went down. And launch reliability is already low. Not so good. I mean, I think we have to boost the launch reliability if I'm just going to be totally honest. We've got to at least try to get it up to 65%, right? Alright, and I would say that's about it. Let's see, we've got Mars orbit, Mars lander. China did the Mars lander? Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. I gotta say, they're making it difficult. We're gonna have to really try to min-max what we have working for us. That extra funding is sure to help. What is it over here on Mars that I'm being pinged about? Mars flyby, Mars orbit, Mars lander. Yikes. Well, I think the truth is we just push on. Alright, we got I Like Sugar. Assigning astronaut Darkstar will increase payload training mission. Yeah, that seems fine. Orbital radio with experimental fuel. This is a pretty straightforward mission with the Explorer payload. So there's no rush for this one, though. This is really just for a little bit of science. Conditions on the field look to be satisfactory. Good conditions, even. Let's go for launch. 3, 2, 1. There's ignition. Alright, so far it looks good. Okay, let's go. Successful launch. And, oh yeah, look at that. +1 turn on the first task of the mission. And we did improved payload efficiency training, which is really good. So all we have to do to achieve Earth orbit for this one is say, signal return test, atmospheric sampling. So let's go ahead, we'll do that. Got a good signal return, so go ahead and start sampling the atmosphere. There we go. Sensors are functioning nominally. I think the next one is going to be data transmission, followed by atmospheric sampling again, and then we're kind of in there. So we'll send all that data back. It was a good transmission. And then we'll take some samples of the atmosphere. Look at that. We did not need the more advanced payload at all. It was a pretty basic mission. And just give us a little bit more science and money. Just to help us out there. Just to help us out. Space welding is ready. And we need Dark Star to get the payload mission training bonus. I think that's probably a good call. It's a lot of science for this one. It would be nice. Let's see, Electrician is going to give us +1 power. Science reward. I think we got to take Oriya for the science reward. And then I think we'll take Shadowcat. Alright, that looks good to me. For training, I mean, so we could totally get a really reliable payload, but I think the real money to grab here on this one is the science. Now, granted, that means we don't have to bring Darkstar, but Darkstar is an electrician, and that extra power really, really helps. Let's go 25% science launching in September. Okay. Where's our research at? The Mars orbit. So we could begin that mission. Could begin planning the Mariner 8. Do we want the extra power build? Not necessarily. What are we going to have to accomplish on our mission here? So first we're going to have to enter Mars transfer orbit, which is, navigation and thrust, followed by comms, navigation, and thrust, and then all three, comms, navigation, and data. I think a standard payload is pretty straightforward, and we just go with that. And we just get it built, and we just let it go. Okay. It puts us a little bit behind the curve on money, but that's okay. And look, we're in competition with the ESA now, so we're getting a little bit more money. That's good. New joint mission available on the moon. With who? With Japan. I don't see the benefit of working with them necessarily. In fact, I kind of don't want to work with anybody anymore. Commercial satellite research is complete. Delivering a communication satellite into a precise Earth orbit, yes, will exemplify our space agency's expertise. It's like finally getting our impactor over to Venus. But we got the science training, and that's, what we need right there. That's really good. Conditions not great. Not great at all. This will be the first launch of our Teapot class vehicle, and I think that's going to put us, terrible conditions, way outside of our comfort zone. We're going to have to relaunch. There's really no pressure to do this one quickly, so let's just schedule it for next month. All right, next up on the research is going to be the ComSat payload, so that we can actually get a commercial satellite mission going. All right, there's the Mars orbiter payload has been completed, the Mariner 8. We get launch reliability up, payload reliability down. That's okay. It was a fairly reliable payload to begin with. And since it is next month, we're going to reattempt our Venus impactor mission. So we'll bring the Teapot class vehicle to the pad. Conditions look decent. Adequate. We're definitely below the 10% critical failure rate threshold that we've self-imposed for takeoff, so we're going to say we're go for launch. This is a brand new space vehicle, the Teapot class. We do have liftoff. It looks like it came off the rails okay. Okay, it's a good burn. All right. So we got off the pad. Okay, we had a minor incident. The payload took some damage during launch, which is bad because the engineers also had a rough time with the payload. So overall, payload quality went down significantly. Hopefully it'll still be able to achieve its trajectory. We need a lot of thrust to get it into the Venus transfer orbit. So I'm thinking, really, where do we want to be? Where do we want to be with this? We want probably a signal return test, followed by a controlled burn, and then maybe some micrometeorite detection after we execute a controlled burn. Yep. All right, signal return check is good, which is great because we need all that comms to initiate a controlled burn. Looks like we had an engine malfunction. A little bit less thrust than we would have liked. We're just going to accept that. Micrometeorite detection is pretty important, and we're not getting that data. I think we just accept it. As much as I don't really want to, I think we just accept it. That's tough. That's real tough. So we get a signal return test, another controlled burn. We could do solar flare analysis. I think we do. Is this where we want to be? That would give us 4. So we could do 2 ground control connections each. Or we could do a data transmission. Navigation is the trickiest one to get with this payload, it looks like. Trajectory optimization looks to be really good. Yeah, let's do solar flare analysis then. Alright, signal return check is good with ground control. Another failed controlled burn. Oh, it's going to cost us our data? I think we allow it. I think we just allow it. Because we're getting the full amount of thrust out of that. Solar flare analysis, yeah, the payload damage is really coming back to bite us. This one we have to resist. We need 4 data to initiate the actions we want to take. And we have like nothing here. So what do we want? We could do ground control connection twice. Right? Followed by another controlled burn. Gosh, that 2 ground control connections puts us in a pretty good place. We're not going to get the 50% bonus reward, but we could always restart the task. I feel like solar flare analysis is good. Because it saves our power. What does that give us for our next action? It gives us a couple of options. We could go 1, 2... No, we could go 1, 2, and then 3. Maybe instead what we need to do is we need to look at doing the controlled burn now. This gives us like nothing to work with next turn. Let's look at this. Let's reanalyze our situation here. Ground control connection, data transmission, controlled burn. Then that puts us, what? Trajectory optimization. One of these, one of these. So where we want to end up, we're kind of in a bad way. If you want to look at it, really what we have is we have 4 data, a bunch of thrust, no nav, and no comms. Like none. We could go 1 ground control connection and then do the trajectory optimization, and then at least we're mission complete. So then what would be the next play after that? Something like 1 for 3 seems like a really good deal. Could do the micrometeorite detection. We're still going to be a controlled burn away from getting that 50%. I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens. See, and these don't help our cause any. We're going to resist this one because I think we have to, and hopefully the trajectory gets optimized properly. All right, I think we just accept this one so that we can see what the last known... Gosh. We just need something to go our way. This one we resist. Okay, so at the very least, we need to come out of this with a successful mission. What are our options? Ground control connection. It's pretty much all surplus because we don't need the data. Likewise, if we don't like the imbalance there, we can go with the trajectory optimization. It pushes us more like that. But without the controlled burn, right? And then we don't have the data for this, so then we can't get there. We go with the data transmission, then we go with the controlled burn, and then we would need like a trajectory optimization. Or we just complete the task. I think we just complete the task. No, we should at least try, right? But there's no way to get it. I don't see a way to get it. Even if we do double up on the ground control connection, we take the 2, then we go with the controlled burn, that puts us there. Then the only... Yeah, there's no good option here. There's none. Controlled burn is a must if we want that, followed by data transmission, followed by trajectory optimization. But then you're still a data short. No, we just take the power. Honestly, we just take 3 power. We just complete the task. I can't justify even taking a risk when we don't need to. We transferred to Venus. We didn't get the bonus. It's fine. It's fine. All right, phase 1 of the Venus impactor is complete. Mars orbit needs a vehicle. None of these rocket designs work. Oh, man. Okay, what do we got? So the upper stage at a minimum... Yeah, it's got to be one of these two. Let's see. The cheaper one is the Agena, but it's a little heavier. Let's look at the boosters. So if we go with this one, we can look at the booster is going to be the Atlas. Pretty expensive. Let's see. If we go for the Redstone, we'd have to go with the supplemental boosters. That would at least get us there. But we don't really have the research for that either. Let's see. This is the... Right, so this one is cheaper but heavier. The heavier one is also carried by the Atlas just fine. So I think we just stick with the Atlas lower half, right? 3 months, 1.5 million. Not going to save a lot of money on these various options here. I think we just have to go with the Atlas. The Redstone, it's only, yeah, you don't save any money doubling up on boosters, and we don't have the research. So it's going to be the Atlas booster, and I think the Delta K is a bit of a waste. I think it's better to go with the Agena. Slightly lower launch reliability, but it's a little cheaper. That's a little heavier. Yeah. Okay, so we need the Agena. Let's see. We can select our contractors. Right, we could bring the price down. That's where I want to be. Okay, so we can bring the price down into making it now. But we have to research the upper stage. We don't have the upper stage researched. We can go for more science for more money. That's tempting. Cheaper for less support. I don't like that option. I don't like that option. I do like this one. Cheaper for an extra month. Okay, and this is a new rocket design. So that means we're going to need to see what the name of this rocket's going to be. All right, let's go. It's Anglo-Irish Fell. Sounds good to me. All right. Name. Anglo-Irish Fell. And we're going to save this design, yep, as our... This is our Mars rocket. So, again, we can build it, but we have to research the parts right over here. I think... Oh, we're not getting a lot of science. What's this? 5,400 versus 78. We're going to switch. Okay, we're going to switch because this is going to get us science, and we have the money to do it now, so we should just focus on doing it. The other mission, yeah, no, research. I know. We're researching it. It's okay. So it looks like we're doing our space welding mission. Also going to get us a lot of science. This one, of course, is the mission with Darkstar, Shadowcat, and Oriya. Let's go ahead and check conditions on the field. Okay, adequate conditions. 7%. Okay, that's acceptable. We're going to go ahead and say we'll go for launch.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This mission offers a critical upgrade for rockets. And, of course, a lot of science. Okay, it doesn't look like it's flying very straight. Why are you... No! No! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why? Catastrophic engine failure. Oh. No! It's not even about the support. The astronauts. Killed in action. Ugh. I salute you guys. That is catastrophic. I don't even... How do we pick up the pieces from there? Where are we supposed to go now? Oh my gosh. I can't. I'm trying desperately to, like, wrap my head around what the next step is now. Well, we need... Oh my gosh. We needed... And it's ironic only because the upgrade we were going to get for that mission for space welding was to improve the possibility of successful launches with good events, like perfect launches. I think we're going to have to look at our options moving forward. We have to continue. We might have to just conduct an astronaut recovery test for the money at this point while we wait for another mission to open up. So I think we'll start planning this one. We'll stick with the Mercury payload, even though, yeah, we want to make the money off of it. So we have to go with the cheaper payload. Oh my gosh. Well, at least we've got the missions going now. Ah, that's just Kid Caliber and Rocket Ninja left. All right, well, that's how it goes. I think that's where we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. There are others we can hire, but we might want to actually work towards the next level astronaut training first. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've had a good time watching, because as always, I've had a good time playing. Even in failure, we must persevere and continue on. But until next time, take care.